I think having to try and meet the 2030, 2035 goals, though, the government has already got low emission zones that are helping to stimulate that change. Yeah, there's a lot of resistance by residents that live in those areas, but we know demographically that the amount of vehicles we have in those zones has increased significantly.
Yeah, on that there'll be, the previous count was 32 local authorities who will introduce a low emission zone. I believe the latest count is nearer 42 local authorities that will introduce the low emission zones, which means that if you're driving a petrol or a diesel car prior to 2016 into any of these zones, you will have to pay to drive through. And again, the ULEZ charge in London is £18 a day, whereas an electric car, as long as you register the car on the scheme, it is free to go in and out.
The challenges that most people instantly raise thinking about an electric car is, where are they going to charge it? How long will it take to charge? And I think some of those challenges are being addressed with more and more infrastructure in terms of it being part of your daily life, whether you're going shopping, whether you're going to a car park. There's infrastructure where you can easily charge your car. But on the flip side of that, thinking about how the distance that most EVs actually are able to do on one charge, which most people on average only do around 30 miles a day. An electric car can give you around 300 miles on a charge, and I don't think it's realistic to think that most people don't stop after driving that distance. Thinking about the pricing of cars, and I think that the subscription model helps to break down some of those challenges, because you've got the option of different types of vehicles, different budgets, but also you're paying for the use, because lots of people have concern around the lifespan of the battery of the vehicle. All of those pain points perhaps are eliminated by them.
Yeah, absolutely bang on. I think the three biggest concerns that people have and why we need to drive up the increase of uptake, if you like, on electric vehicles. The first one is the range, because more and more cars are coming out that can cover well in excess of 300 miles, but even the budget cars now are doing 250 plus, so range is not a concern anymore. The second element, as Janjit has touched on, is where do I charge? This is perhaps the biggest concern people have, and one of the elements that the government needs to help in. Where do I charge? Now, private entities come to the rescue here. You've got virtually every supermarket now linking up with charge point manufacturers and charge point providers to have rapid charging as well as fast charging available. So whilst you're doing your shopping, in 90 minutes and or even in 30 minutes, in the case of supercars cutting it down even finer, in 12 minutes, you can charge 20 to 80% of your car. So it's a question of how long do you need, right? And that finally touches on the point of a concern that most of the public have: electric cars are too expensive. That is going to be absolutely blown out the water with the new wave of Chinese manufacturers coming to the UK. They are going to enter the UK market starting this year, and there will be a range of cars available from £25,000 upwards. So very, very affordable cars that can cover 250, 300 miles in one charge, and they can be a family car. So they're answering all the questions there. But what does the government need to do to help in this? The government started off by offering grants on electric cars. That was cut out. They started off offering 0% benefit in kind for salary sacrifice. They've slowly stepped that up and guaranteed that by 2028 there will be no more than 5% benefit in kind charge on the electric cars, salary sacrifice. And thirdly, they've set or moved the 2030 deadline to 2035. However, the devil is in the detail, because what they have done is put in there that every manufacturer must sell a percentage of their cars in electric form. So this year alone, 22% of every manufacturer's production sold in the UK has to be electric, and if it's not electric, they get fined £15,000 per car. Now, this will lead to a little bit of horse trading amongst the manufacturers. Tesla have got zero emissions because they're pure electric. JLR, on the other hand, are pure diesel and petrol, and only have the I-Pace as an electric car, which when it came out was a world beater. Today it's a bystander. It's been surpassed by most manufacturers. Therefore, JLR have to buy, a bit like buying tax credits, they have to buy credits off Tesla to bring their emissions total down. So this in the background is going on whilst the average person in the street has no idea this is happening. The government are making deep tracks to actually force the manufacturers to go down the electric line. In doing that, the electric manufacturers, the car manufacturers, will produce electric cars in abundance. They will be available at cheaper prices, making them more affordable for people. But if that's not for you, then as Janet alluded, our subscription model can easily lead to you pay as you go. Just simply take the car for a month or 3 months or whatever your use case may be, and that price includes the insurance, the maintenance, the road tax, etc. So making it as simple as you can for simply charge and drive.